Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Wind Down with Kev. It's your man, Kevin Spann, the insurance guru. Kevin Spann, 11798 in the building. I got my man, D. Matt in the building. D. Matt is here. Vidcom Filmworks in the building. We opened it up safely. We got our mask on, but we pulled apart. We got about 6 feet. You feel good?
Yes, sir.
Peace. Let's remove the mask. Let's get into it for the people. I got the 2x mask on, double down. Kev. Wind Down with Kev, got the N95. Party people in the place to be. I got a special guest for you. You already know the man to my right. You know him as Daryl Matthews. You know him as Mr. Vidcom Filmworks. You know him as the man that's always behind the camera. But today we're going to flip the script. We got Dre, one of D-Matt's understudies behind the camera. Dre's photography, he's running the show on that way. And today we're going to spend some time just getting to know Mr. Daryl Matthews. So D-Matt, introduce yourself to the people. For those that don't know you, tell them who you are.
My name is Daryl Matthews, obviously. Vidcom Filmworks is my company. Been a photographer slash videographer first for about 20 years now. Do community events. A community advocate. Let me see. I do a lot of things.
All right. And one thing you're going to do is clean up that introduction.
Yes.
Now I'm friends with your wife. I know both your sons, so you're going to shout Allison out, and you're going to shout your sons out before we go any further. We got to do this right.
Beautiful wife, Allison Matthews, and a son, Daryl Matthews, and little Darren Matthews.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Give credit, give respect where it's due. So basically what you're telling me, you're the man, husband, father, entrepreneur, kind of like a unicorn. they say that people like you don't exist. So are you a unicorn?
I think I am. I think I am a unicorn.
No. I promise you this. People, this is one of my real good friends. Real happy to have him in front of the camera. You already know him. He's done all your events in the area throughout Long Island. Black Long Island's most renowned photographer and beyond. Not only does work here, he's done destination weddings, school photography, all sort of incredible things, but we're really not talking about that. I'm gonna peel back the banana a little bit and let y'all get to know D-Matt. D-Matt, we go back, I call him D-Matt, we go back 20 years. I first remember meeting you. You did my nephew and my niece's wedding. Shout out to Jermaine and Latoya. Talk to me about that. That was your first wedding.
Yes. Jermaine and Latoya Matthews.
Yes.
Beautiful names. Just don't ever forget that name. Jermaine and Latoya Matthews. That was 2000.
2001.
2001. Yes, 2001. And that was actually my first wedding. And back then, we did videography more than anything else. There's more videography than photography.
What I like about the name of your company, Vidcom Filmworks, that vid and that com, I assume is video communication?
Nope. I'll tell you how that name came about.
Talk to me.
It came about, it's short for video and computer.
Video and computer, okay.
Yes, because it's really simple. I used to edit video on a computer.
Okay.
And I was one of the first people around, locally around here to really, go real heavy with the video editing on the computer.
See, I had it all wrong because I thought it was video communication, and I thought you had a great name because it's withstood the test of time. Because as times have changed, your business has changed.
Right.
So you start out video editing on a computer.
Yes.
Take the people through some of the evolutions of various stages of how the business changed and how you adapted.
Oh man, things have changed so much, and we've come so far with technology. I envy today's technology because I wish I had this technology when we first started out.
Okay.
We started out with, let me back it up a little bit. Before I did video on computers, before I edited video on computers, I built computers.
Okay.
So I started building computers in 98, 99.
Okay.
And my company back then was called Big D's Electronics.
Okay.
With a D is for discount.
Okay, let's go.
So after that, one day I built a computer and I said, you know what, I can edit video on this computer. I always loved video and photo since high school.
Okay.
Since high school, middle school and high school. And then, rewinding back before that, my grandfather was a photographer.
Okay.
He had a photography business. He had a lot of equipment. He was very well organized.
So we're talking generational wealth people. We're talking legacy planning. We're talking planting a seed for future generations. Keep going.
It was implanted in my DNA to be a photographer. So fast forwarding, we started editing video on computers, and we made movies, local movies. Started doing short commercials. Okay. I'm gonna get a timeout right there. Short movie, first movie. You produced, you directed. I've heard about it, I've actually never seen it. What was the name of that movie? It's Not a Game.
It's Not a Game. What are we talking about, D? What's not a game? What are we talking about?
Life.
Life.
If I want to abbreviate the movie, I want to make it short. Pretty much, life is not a game.
Okay.
Whatever you do, whatever you put out there, it goes around, comes around.
Okay.
So if you do dirt,
you get dirt.
Right. So it's pretty much karma.
Okay.
That's pretty much, to summarize the whole movie, that's what it was about.
It's not a game. So all you out there that's listening, it's not a game. And it's said with seriousness, inflection. I've never seen the movie. Not sure if I'm old enough to watch it, but I might. I might. Let's bring it forward. You're currently working on a new movie that you have in production right now.
Yes. Right now we're working on a documentary, Wyandanch wrestling documentary. The class of was 94, our wrestling team, 93, 94 wrestling team, was the only undefeated wrestling team in Wyandanch high school history. Let's go.
Shout out class of 93, 94. Y'all held it down. Y'all were undefeated. It's funny to share this history because when you think of Wyandanch, we talk about certain basketball teams. We talk about the class of 81, boys and girls both being state champs. We have some glory days in football. There's a Facebook argument that I don't want to participate in, but I know the class of 87 claims some credit for some football achievement. Shout out to Fitz, I hope I said your class right, could be 87, 88. Long legacy, but not much history. We don't talk about wrestling much.
No. There's a long, good history of wrestling that we have that hardly nobody knows about. And for ages, Wyandanch, ever since we had a wrestling team, was the joke of wrestling. I mean, wow. We come in to meet, and a wrestling team, you got to have a good solid 14. It's like about 14 weight classes or so. You have to have a good solid 14 to be competitive.
Okay, so you have a representation at each weight class so you can compete.
And that's just the weight classes. Most of the time we face teams, they got 25, 30.
Wow.
30 people on the team, 2 people per weight class, and a backup.
Right. Wow.
And then some. So we come in there. My coach, Raymond Mills, shout out to Raymond Mills.
All time hero of Wyandanch, all time.
All time. He done way more than just been a wrestling coach and a football coach of the another undefeated squad that you talked about, that you touched on.
Okay.
But they took the chip.
Okay, let's go, let's get it.
They was undefeated.
Okay. I want to ask you, I know y'all got it done, and I know the documentary is coming, so people pay attention. When you hear the drop, watch it. Trust this man's production, what he's putting together, the hard work, the amount of time he's invested into this, and really just documenting our history, because we have to record this, we have to do this while we can, okay?
Yes.
So D-Matt, I'm gonna fast forward, I'm gonna bring us into 2020. This time, the beginning of 2020 last year, you were like a globetrotter. You took a trip I'll let you say where. And you shared that trip with everybody. I can't delay it. It's the motherland. So for those other people that's watching this like me, that's never been to the motherland, share with us that trip. Tell us a little bit about what it was like going there.
That was a soul-touching trip.
Okay.
That touched my soul. That was it was a trip back to the motherland, Ghana, country of Ghana, West Africa, and we went there for about a week. It's about a 10-hour flight, 10 hours or so, straight there, nonstop, of course. And when I tell you, when you get there, it's like, wow, Africa, really nice, cool, everything is cool. We went to visit the slave castle. Okay. And a lot of people, anyone who's been to Ghana, if they went to the slave castle, they know what I'm talking about. In that castle, that was where the slaves were traded from. That was the main port where the slaves were traded from. Listen
to you say that. It just swells me up. I've never been there. I've done my fair share of reading. I know what I know. And they call it the slave castles. It's where slaves were traded from. But truthfully, they were people. They were free people that were traded, and
Yes.
then they were enslaved.
Yes, yes. You know, slavery, you know, I mean, that's a whole different conversation, but that is just some type of evil. So when people talk about slavery, I don't take it light, because I like when I went to the slave castle, I felt, you can feel it through your ancestors.
Wow.
And everybody that was with me felt the same way, because there was no one laughing, it wasn't joking, and we joke about any and everything at any given time, and it doesn't matter. You know how it is. You know, sometimes you joke around with everything.
Grown man, strong man, real talk business.
Right.
The thought of it makes me feel like shedding a tear while you tell the story right now.
Yeah, and you can imagine, you know, we were in the caves where, you know, and I have video of everything, but they showed us where the line of feces and urine was, and the amount of people that they fit in such a small space was unbelievable. I was there and I did a walkthrough. I measured with my own feet. I put it on video. I measured with my own feet just so later on I could play it back in my mind.
Right.
Anywhere I went.
Right.
And I want to say it was about 15 steps, right? 15 steps, not full steps. I'm talking about foot in front of foot.
Got it.
So about 15 feet by 10 feet, right? 150 square.
Got it.
And they said 80 people fit in there.
Can't be done.
That didn't make any type of sense. 80, they said they had 80 slaves. It was so bad where they were dead slaves, and you would lay on them. Like at night, you have to lay down somewhere. You would be laying on dead bodies.
The stories that I've read and what I've been told is that if you're laying in these types of quarters, and those of you that don't know, you have to go to the museums, you have to get this education directly for yourself, whether you go locally, whether you take the trip to DC, which I haven't taken as of yet. But the story is, if you're laying there, the person on the right of you and the person on the left of you both probably passed away. I don't know about for you, but I can't trace my ancestry directly back to from whence I came in Africa. But the one thing I hold on to, that I am the product of someone that survived the Middle Passage.
Yes, yes. And it's just, you know, just thinking about the whole story is just, you know, it just grabbed my heart. I mean, when we were in just that one part that I was telling you about. After you left there, you go to, they show you a few other places, right? They bring you to a really small room, right? And I want to say this room is like 5 feet by 6 feet. It's a small room. And that's where they brought the people. This is what really hurt me too. They brought the people, all the women that rebelled. If they didn't want to get raped,
okay,
you know, not didn't want, let me say it right. The ones who rebelled against rape, if you rebel, you get put in that room, you get beaten almost to where you're dead, and they'll leave you in there. And if you survive, then you come out. But you don't. They give you about a week in there, and they don't feed you or anything. It's some type of evil that you don't want to hear.
It's a level of humanity that's difficult to process. You shared that part with us, and then you shared how people live today outside of the castle. You went into the village. You saw the people in the community. We're from Wyandanch. We're used to going to seeing a 42nd Street level of hustling, a Delancey Street level of hustling. What was that part like when y'all going through the village and people coming up to you, doing various things, selling their food, their various things?
It's like, I want to say, when you go somewhere, I want to say certain parts of Manhattan where everybody's coming up to you trying to sell you something. It's, you know, sometimes you go to the city and, you know, any big shopping district, we have a bunch of hustle and everybody's trying to sell you something. That's kind of like what it felt like, you know, and a lot of foreign countries are like the same thing because they think you have all this money and they want some of it. I want to get my little piece of what you got.
You wasn't wearing nothing from the 11798, let them know you didn't have it. You didn't let them know you didn't have it.
When I go, I don't even wear my wedding ring when I go to other countries.
Okay.
Got nothing to do with marriage.
Right.
I just don't wear any jewelry at all.
Anything that
if I wore earrings, I used to wear earrings.
Right.
I don't ever wear earrings. I don't wear nothing. No type of jewelry. Nothing. When I go to other countries.
Nothing
That's
that
just
might
a habit
cost
I've
you
learned.
And come back. So people, if you don't follow Daryl Matthews on Facebook now, add him as a friend and follow the pictures and videos from that trip because it's incredible. You'll feel like you went. I watched every video that you edited and put up. And watching y'all drive through the city, seeing different things, not the way that's portrayed in the movies, but in real life was incredible. So you kick off 2020, you go to Africa, that's one trip. You turn around a few weeks later or a month later, and you take another trip.
Yeah, one of my friends enticed me, you know, to go to see a Lakers game.
Got you.
And I said, oh, you know what? Yeah, why not? No, we went to LA to support our guy Danny Green.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Danny Green.
Thank you for the hospitality.
Yes, brother. Appreciate you. Shout out to the Green family.
Yes.
You know, Big Danny, Little Danny.
Of course.
So we went out there, and this was, I want to say, a week and a half somewhere before the whole world stopped turning.
Before it stopped. So let's give some context to it. We went down to LA, weekend of March 6th to March 9th.
Yes.
We got there early on a Friday. We did all the LA things. Roscoe Chicken and Waffles. How was that?
Tell them what games we caught.
I'm gonna get there. We started with Roscoe's. You got to give Roscoe's that LA love. You got to give.
So
Roscoe's.
we had to check. That was our first stop.
Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
Yes, we had to try.
Pictures of Randy's Donuts. We got that.
Yes.
Did some fun in between.
Food was good too. Food was on point.
And the games we saw were the games of the year in 2020. The last games with big crowds.
Yes.
Friday night, who we catch?
We caught the Clippers
on Sunday morning.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, not the Clippers.
Yeah.
We caught the Milwaukee Bucks.
Now, people say that you was on the floor, that you was right down there in the mix.
We were.
You in the mix. Jay-Z, Michael B. Jordan.
Yes.
And D-Matt straight from the 11798.
Mark Jackson.
You already know.
Who else? Jalen Rose was down there.
Everybody's down there.
Everybody who's somebody out there. Yeah, we in the mix. You know what? We went down there, and you know, I've been around a lot of celebrities. You've been around a lot of celebrities, but our trip was to just go down there and be fans of the game and relax. I didn't have a camera in my hand. I could work. You know, I could work without working.
Right.
You know, I could take pictures when I wanted to.
Right.
You know, I wasn't on a shift. I didn't have to do nothing. We just went out there and relaxed, let our head down, and enjoyed ourselves. That was a trip that's going to be remembered forever because of what happened afterward. I mean, it was a beautiful trip to start with, but
1 week later, we come back. Now this weekend, March 6th to March 9th, we in LA, we having a good time. We at these games, the Laker games, at least 20,000 at Lakers versus Bucks, Lakers versus Clippers. And we're reading about Corona, but it's not what it is.
We saw the big wave coming.
We saw the wave coming.
It's coming, but we didn't know how big the wave was.
We first started to wear these things, these masks. And then a few days later, the NBA shuts down, I want to say March 12th. And then the whole world stopped. Shout out to Adam Silver for his leadership, because that's when everybody took it serious and we came to a screeching halt. So D, let me tell you this. A month later, fast forward a month, I started this podcast, Wind Down with Kev, because I had nothing to do. And I'm not a person, you're high energy, I'm active. I had a hard time adjusting to life without activities away from work and a social life. My social life is games. Not only we catch the Lakers last year, we caught Devontae's game, we caught Indiana at Madison MSG.
Yes.
So this is what I do.
Devontae Green is Danny's
brother.
Younger brother.
So we're doing that, but when COVID hit, it hit New York real hard, hit us real close personally. Thoughts and prayers to everybody that's been lost to this horrible disease. I needed to learn how to relax. The hardest thing you can ask me to do is, Kev, just have a seat and just chill. That's not my skill set. Right. So I started Wind Down with Kev to talk with people about how they were adjusting after COVID and how they wound down and relaxed. So how did you wind down and relax when all your traveling came to a screeching halt?
You know what? I have to admit, it was a beautiful thing. I was on a move so much. I used to take breaks so I can finish work. That's how much I was on the move. Okay. I took breaks so I could finish work that I haven't done, I haven't finished yet. And and on top of that, it was a blessing. I was finally able to sit down and eat dinner. Wow. At the dinner table with my family. Wow. I couldn't do that before. We were stuck in the house. I said, you know what? We could sit down and...
Y'all gonna be here?
Exactly. Well, welcome to the show.
That's funny. I had no idea what really went on in my house. That's how hard I was running.
Yeah.
It's a lot going on there, right?
We really work so much that you don't even know what you're missing until life slows you down, and then you say, oh, and now your eyes are opened up. And I have to say that was a blessing. I loved every bit of that, and got to spend some quality time with my wife and my son. And that is the biggest blessing in the world. I mean,
so that was definitely the blessing in disguise. I would echo that completely. But D, I got to be honest with you. I hesitated with having you as a guest a little bit because you kept that same energy during COVID. You really didn't wind down. You built the gym in your yard, and then you started riding your bike like miles upon miles. Talk about both of those transitions. Talk about the gym and the bike riding.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I want to say when we were in LA on our trip, around 20,000 people with a virus that we didn't know about. Nobody's wearing masks. Now, one person wearing masks, we're around 20,000 people. I was about 55 pounds heavier. Right. 55 pounds heavier. Okay. And fast forward to when I started riding, basketball was a thing that I used to, that was my cardio to lose weight.
That was your wind down before. You used to go to the gym, you would lift, and you play ball.
LA Fitness, 29th Street, wind dance. Shout out to my 29th Street fam. And the parks, we play ball all the time. I love running up and down the court, busting them young boys behind. Y'all know who y'all are. But, that was my thing. And that was my way to lose weight. Now, I mean, not now, but then I had to find something, something to replace that. And to replace that cardio, I started riding bikes little by little. I linked up with Ron Smith and Chip. They were like, hey, you want to come down and ride with us? I said, all right, cool. mind you, I haven't ridden past 3 miles yet. I haven't done a mile yet. I just rode around the block a few times. So I went with them. We went to Belmont Park. About 10, 11 miles. Like, whew, that was how much. I said, I'm good. But then I liked it. I caught the bug. 15 miles, and I did 20 miles, and I did 40 miles, and I did 50 miles.
You sound like Forrest Gump. I just kept running.
running. And my long, my long is 75 miles.
Oh my God.
75 miles.
And that's why I didn't ride with you, because y'all kept going further and further and further. I did not front on the gram, people. I didn't come just to show up. D, did you have a bike before the pandemic, or you bought it?
No, I bought it.
During it?
I bought it.
Okay.
I bought a rinky-dink bike from someone off Craigslist.
Because there were no bikes in the store.
Oh, the real bikes were. They
were going.
Yeah, they were going off the shelf. They flew off the shelf. But I knew nothing at that time about real bike riding. I didn't know anything about real bikes. Finally got one off of Amazon. Pretty decent one. Okay, all right. Compared to like real bike riders, it's trash. But it was good to me. Just start out, it was good for me.
It got it done.
Right.
You ran off 55 pounds. I don't think I saw you from midsummer until we did the turkey giveaway, and you rolled up. I'm like, where's the rest of D-Mat at? You're supposed to disappear now. Half of you was gone, so where's the big dude I went to LA with? Done. You rode it all off.
Yeah, it was a bodyguard that I hired to roll with us before, and
He's gone.
I had to leave him over there. He was eating too much. So,
D, let's flip the script and come back to business. Let's talk to some people about business. You had a very successful business. 2020 was year 19. School photography, wedding photography, all of my headshots I've ever done for business, you've done for me. And suddenly in New York, the whole event business is dead. There are no weddings, there are no events that you're going out to be the photographer. I read something yesterday, Small Business Administration, about how people have to reinvent their business. How did you reinvent your business and stay busy with COVID going on?
Simple. You have to evolve.
Okay.
You have to learn to evolve. You have to do different things. You can't do the same thing and expect different results. We all know what that is. We started doing lawn signs. Lawn signs became popular. Our business was, I want to say, almost suited for this pandemic because we're digital. We've been doing digital. And group shots. We even do group shots digitally. In post, can you put something up on the screen?
Yes, we got you. We'll flow with the conversation.
I'll show you a few examples.
Follow Vidcom Filmworks. We got to talk to the people now. They want to hear your voice.
On the screen.
They'll see your work.
We do. We've been doing group composite shots. Group composite shots are pretty much we take everyone individual, and then we put them all in the same photo. It looks like everyone was taken. It doesn't look like a cut and paste thing. It looks real, genuine, professional, touched up, fully touched up. We've been doing that since way before the pandemic.
You said a lot of things for all of the entrepreneurs out there, all of the aspiring entrepreneurs. A lot of people's 2020 vision was to start businesses. And D-Man, you dropped a lot of jewels right there, so I'm gonna go through them slowly. One, you've been digital from the beginning. You've always had that whatever pictures you had done, you had to go on and order them digitally as opposed to just printing and giving them out. The whole world had to go digital. That was a big adjustment for me. One of the best things I saw you do last year with the yard signs was you created an emotional connection with the graduation. Class of 2020, most memorable class in the history of graduating classes. People lost the ability to graduate, have proms, what you did, all of those types of things. But for right here in our community, you did something special for the class of 2020. Talk about what you did with Mr. Sibley's and taking pictures with all of the students with all the yard signs.
Yeah, shout out to Paul Sibley's Wyandanch High School principal. He's, ever since I've known him, been doing a wonderful, wonderful job. Flawless. Best high school principal I've seen in Wyandanch history. I'll say that without stuttering, without hesitation.
Without a doubt. But talk about what y'all do. Come to us. You said you just did the graduating pictures for a class that you've been with since they were in kindergarten?
Yes. And I didn't even know that wasn't even my first. I'm starting to feel real old in this business, but it's a beautiful thing. It was kind of surreal to have to start seeing the students. When I saw this specific class, I said, wait a minute. You know, all of them say, hey, I remember. They're coming up to me, you know, because we had 3 photographers, Roosevelt High School, three photographers, and they're skipping the photographers. They're trying to come to me and say, hey, I remember you. You took my pictures in 1st grade. You've been taking my pictures since 1st grade. And I'm like, wow, it was kind of surreal to see all of these students who remember me from taking their pictures since 1st grade. And
what school district?
Is Roosevelt.
Roosevelt, beautiful.
Roosevelt. So, you know, a few of the students took pictures with me in the background, and you know, had their parents post it and tag me.
Nice.
And that was it was a good look. Like, wow, since 1st grade, and I have their pictures, pulling them up since 1st grade. We still have their pictures on file, because that's one thing that I've always tried to do with my business, is we keep your pictures for the life of our company.
People, let me tell you something. This man, if he's taking your pictures, he has your family history. The last 20 years, you've done every family event that we can think of, and you have it on file, which makes life really easy. You've been there for people coming. You're also there for a lot of people when they're going, and you make that moment a whole lot easier, more palatable for families that go through difficult times. We're coming close to the end, but there's so much that I want to say. I hope I've done a good enough job of, number one, getting y'all a chance to get to know this man, definitely to like him. And if you haven't done business with him already, you have to do business with him. At the end of the day, bottom line, he's one of the best people that you are going to meet. Flat out, no question at all. D-Man, tell the people something that I didn't ask you that you want them to know. What didn't I ask you?
Really can't think of too much now. I guess all I could, yeah, man, that's I think you pretty much rounded everything up.
Nah, I missed some stuff. I got it.
I know you missed something.
Nah, I missed it. I missed the community piece. I missed the community piece.
Okay.
So we talked about you wrestling in a wrestling movie. What I didn't talk about is how you gave back and paid it forward. You and some of those wrestlers from the teams, y'all all helped with the Wyandanch Junior wrestlers.
Absolutely. That's actually going to be covered in our documentary as well. But a lot of us former wrestlers, we came back and started a kid wrestling program. And we came out of our pockets with time as well. Time, of course, and financially. We funded the program, and we did good, I want to say, but it was always a fight.
Well, giving back is always, doing well is always a fight.
Yes.
But let me ask you a question. Why is giving back to the community so important to you?
Because if someone didn't give to me, come and give back to me, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Okay.
And I know how important that is.
Say that again for the people in the back. If people, i.e. Mr. Mills,
yes,
if they're not there for you,
if they don't come back and give to me and pour into me, then I'm not where I am today. And I know how important that is. Same way, you know, I kind of take you on a little personal note. Same way I didn't have a father when I was growing up. I know how that felt to not have a father growing up. That hurts you deep. I don't care who you are. You can say it doesn't hurt. Yes, it hurts you deep. But I have 2 sons, and those sons know who their father are. Guaranteed.
That's a beautiful thing, D. You shared something on Facebook your journey with finding and discovering your dad posthumously.
Oh yeah.
I think if you're comfortable, whatever you're comfortable talking about that, because sadly in our community, our history, a lot of people don't know their dad. So if you could share your discovery, I would love for my listeners to hear about that.
Ancestry.com. I found my family through Ancestry.com. Had my cousin, talked to my cousin on the phone. She reached out to me via email. Hey, I want to know how we're cousins. We're talking and talking. I'm naming everyone up and down the family tree, no hits. She's naming everybody up and down the family tree, no hits. I'm about to hang up, and she says, well, I said, hey, well, my father's name is Willie B. James. He's like, oh, Willie B. James? Oh, wow. Mom, who's Willie B. James? Willie B. James is my brother. Wow. And next thing you know,
wow.
when I heard all this going on in the background, and I'm like, ding.
Oh my God.
As soon as she said, we have a lot of James in our family, I've been looking for my father my whole life.
Okay.
So, you know, that was a surreal moment for me. That was 3 years ago. And that was only 3 years ago, which is crazy.
Right.
And I've, you know, hooked up with my sister. My sister lives right in Bayshore. About 10 minutes away from me the whole time and didn't know it.
And since then, you've gone to family reunions and other places?
As soon as me and her hooked up, she said, oh, we can hook up on Monday. I was like, we can hook up today. This was on Friday. I'm like, no, we don't got to wait till Monday. I'm Bob. Wherever you are, I'm pulling up.
D-Man, so, you had your Antoine Fisher moment. So for those of you that don't know that movie, that's a reference to a young man, Antoine Fisher, who had a difficult life, but in the end he found his family, and all the love that he missed growing up, he received it at the end. So D-Man, thank you for sharing that with everybody. I hope y'all got a lot out of this podcast. This man is a wealth of knowledge and living experience, and he's a doer. He's a doer. I wouldn't recommend a lot of stuff he did to wind down because he stayed busy. He stayed doing a lot of stuff. So if you have energy and time on your hands and you really want to get going, this man is full of energy. We don't have any wine on Wind Down with Kev right now. D-Mat is not a drink. I started to bring some water bottles, do some shots of water. That's bad production on my part, but that's it. I'm signing off. D-Mat, final words for the people?
Oh man, listen, just do what you can for someone. If whenever you can, help someone. It means a lot. It means a lot to people. You know, you're never gonna grow big unless you really help someone. A true giant is someone who doesn't step on people. They reach down and help people. That's a true giant.
That's a beautiful note. I have nothing to add to or take away from that. I am Kevin Spann, the insurance guru. Thank you for tuning in to Wind Down with Kev. Please follow Daryl Matthews all over social media. Please follow Vidcom Filmworks over social media. This is actually the man that forced me to sign up and get involved in social media. Peace.